of variables behind overhanging trees that really define how productive they're going to be. So you've got one of the first things, guys, is the density of the tree. You know, how thick the tree is and how much shade that it's putting off. Some trees, you know, are really catching a lot of shade. Some of them are a little bit more sparse and not quite so much. A lot of it depends on how they are facing, the angle of the bank they're facing, depending upon different type of sunlight angles. And then one of the biggest things is how far the tree is actually off the water. Now, it can be good regardless. It's like this one right here is about the highest I like. This one is about probably a little over 3.5 feet off the bottom or from the surface of the water. That's about the maximum. Personally, I like an overhanging tree to be about probably a foot or two above the water. It seems like that is like the ideal situation, but it doesn't have to be exact with that. Now, what you're looking for as far as for this to work is certain conditions have to be prevalent in terms of time of the year, water clarity, and water temperature. You're going to find, for the most part, that overhanging trees are better in a little bit warmer water conditions. So this is something that I like to fish if the water temperature is over 70 degrees. Now, it doesn't matter if it's 70 degrees in the springtime, 70 degrees in the fall time of the year. Anything over 70 degrees, those fish are going to start using it, you know, for the shade. Because if it's under 70 degrees, the shade's not quite as important for them, and they don't gravitate to these type of areas. Probably my favorite time to fish overhanging trees is when the water temperature is actually over 80 degrees, like in the summertime and the early fall. And a couple different reasons for this. First of all, in the springtime of the year, when the water starts warming up, you have a lot of mayflies use these overhanging trees. And these mayflies, you've probably seen them. You can come up and shake the tree and these mayflies will go everywhere. Those bass and the perch and the bluegill know this, and they'll hang underneath those overhanging trees, and it's a really good way to catch them, like on a pawpaw or something. If you ever see mayflies on an overhanging tree, just throw a pawpaw in there. They'll bite the thing for sure. But the two main reasons that these bass like overhanging trees is, number one, perch like to hang around them because perch love to hang around the shade, especially in the summertime, and it keeps the bass in there. Perch actually like to bed around these overhanging trees, especially if they're located a little bit like in the back of a cove like that. And I have found personally that the overhanging trees that are on flatter banks in a little bit shallower water towards the back end of the coves are the best, simply because of the bluegill factor. You can't ever discount that. That's the number one thing that bass love about hanging around overhanging trees is the black perch, the pumpkin seeds, the bluegills love to be there. That's why they sort of, you know, hang out there. And a lot of times you can go